All right, so we got the show called Treason, right? 5 episodes, 40 minutes apiece. Let's get it popping with episode 1. Now, we start off with this dude by the name of Adam. He's teaching a bunch of kids. He has his son in this class named Callum. They talking about MI6 stuff, British intelligence. What in the name of James Bond is this? Then we got this guy by the name of Sir Martin meeting up with this dude by the name of Nigel. Nigel just happens to be the president of the United Nations or something like that. Then we got the scene with this girl's getting out the car. Find out later her name is Cara. Basically, Sir Martin has this briefcase where he's basically about to blackmail Nigel. And he's got pictures of him with this 26-year-old girl, basically using like a fake passport, something like that, to maneuver her into the country, something like that. Looked like some affair type shit, I don't know. He basically wants some information from him, and Nigel's like, yeah, I'll call you and let you know. As soon as he leaves, we see Cara going into the kitchen pretending to be a maid or a waiter. She gets him a whiskey and a water, but not realizing it's been poisoned. And she basically ends up taking out Sir Martin. She heads back into the car with this dude by the name of Thomas. And while they're making their escape, they accidentally hit this delivery driver. They go back to check and make sure he's okay or whatever like that. And then Cara's like, yo, we gotta go. Adam gets the news and he's like going over to the secret security building or whatever like that. Come to find out he actually is with MI6. He's about to go over there and assess the situation. Then we get a scene with his wife and she's doing like physical therapy with like veterans and stuff like that. Come to find out she actually used to be in the military. So he makes the call to his wife to let him know like everything is on high alert or whatever like that. And apparently he's got 2 kids, one named Callum and a girl named Ella. So basically he's going back to MI6 trying to figure out what is going on. Come to find out Sir Martin was actually the chief of MI6 and it wasn't a fatal dose, but he is in critical condition. So next man up is Adam. So Adam's basically taking over as the chief of MI6. So because somebody's willing to do that, they consider that a terrorist attack. So Cara and Thomas end up going to this like a little abandoned spot or whatever like that. The thing is, she's doing this to get Thomas's money or whatever like that so he can get the hell up out of there. But when she goes out to check and do some information, we find out that Thomas is actually on the list. Yeah, they're looking all over for Thomas, but how? Turns out the delivery driver survived and he recognized the license plate. The license plate in the car was under Thomas's name, so that's how his name got up there. So she was able to do what she needed to do. She was able to give him half the money now. But while he's going to put the money away, she ends up poisoning one of his glasses. He drinks it. He's done deal dead as shit. So we're thinking to ourselves at this point, what is Cara's objective at this point? Is she working for the Russians? Like, what is she doing? So apparently Adam goes to see Sir Martin. It turns out he's still alive. But her plan was not to kill Sir Martin anyway. She just wanted to give him just enough of a dosage for some reason. But she definitely took out Sir Thomas and gave him a fatal dose. It was done deal with him. He get tracked on a worldwide scale, leaving evidence. She can't have that shit. So now because Adam is chief, he's got to make sure his wife and his kids are getting like extra 24-hour surveillance and everything like that. So Adam gets some intel from a certain spot and he has to go on top of this rooftop. And who does he meet at the rooftop? Cara. Now, why is he meeting up with her one-on-one? Turns out she's actually his ex-girlfriend. Like, the fuck? She talks about how much she sacrificed for him and all this other stuff, and she needs some information. And she's like, I'm the reason you even on top to begin, the chief to begin with. And then he figures out she's actually the one that poisoned Sir Martin. Then she starts labeling out all these other missions that she helped out with over the years to get him to this point. I'm like, wow. So he keeps talking like he's going to get her arrested, but she don't believe that shit. So it gets to a situation where Adam and the family are all going to the movies and whatnot. Then he steps away because he gets a call from work. Turns out it's actually Cara. And she basically tells him, look, I got a bomb on a ship. All you need to do is give her the certain information on this mission called Baki. Now, on this supposed mission, 5 of her peoples was dead from it. She needs information on who it was and how it took place and whatnot. So he's basically got to tell his wife after they finish with the movies or whatever like that, he's got to go pick up something for a gift for somebody at MI6 or something like that. But really, he's going into this spot to pick up a key code, disguised as a vinyl CD. So he ends up getting the CD to go back to the house. So while his wife is asleep, he goes to the computer and checks up this Baki situation, but it turns out MI6 had nothing to do with it. So basically, he got no information on it. Obviously, Carl's going to be mad about the situation, but bottom line is, if he ain't got it, he ain't got it. So of course, he calls her the next day and tells her about it. She's obviously pissed off. He's like, stay away from my family and all that good shit. So you know she ain't going to take this line down. Meanwhile, Adam's wife is thinking something going on, but she's not really sure. She doesn't really want to go to that line of questioning. But the only person she could talk to was a homegirl named Didi who just came back from a certain area or whatever. So Didi gives her this pen. She's like, look, if you're feeling the urge, click the pen, you know what I'm saying, record for about a good 15 minutes or whatever he says over the phone, figure it out from your own accord. Now, I don't think her wife is going to use that, but, So they get this meeting, and one of the higher-ups think Adam used this type of channel to do something or whatever, but he, puts the moves on him and tells him out there. He knew he looked up channels, but he didn't know what he was looking for, so he ain't got nothing. Adam goes back at his office. One of the ladies brings back Sir Martin's briefcase. And she tells her basically, look, get rid of any evidence before we got to take this briefcase back, right? And the briefcase had the file containing Nigel's situation with the 26-year-old. So Adam's like, yeah, we got to take this shit out of here. Then it gets to a point where one of the MI6 agents can't find Ella. I guess she was walking the back way out of school and then the tracking went off course. But then Ella makes a call to her dad and she's like, yeah, I think somebody's following me. He tells her, just go on the opposite road back to the school. Everything's going to be all right. He calls his wife and tells her, the situation. He's like, look, I'm going to get her back. I promise. I guarantee it. Next thing we know, we still see this girl that's following Ella, and then all of a sudden a van pulls up, they kidnap her. You already know what it is. Now I'm thinking to myself, Kara got something to do with that, right? So like I said, the first episode, I'm going to check out the next 4 because it's 5 episodes altogether, 40 minutes apiece. This shit jumping off. Treason on Netflix. Just check it out.